Hey everyone, sorry I am running very late. I had my incorrect cast time. I thought it was 10:30, not 10. So I'm hopping in. We're gonna start this DVD West game ASAP. I do apologize to both teams. I appreciate you all for waiting for me. I normally am very much an on-time individual. So let me hop in, get everything set up. I'm gonna hop into um, the lobby, get everything going. Just let me get everything set up real quick. Turn my game down. Alright, so let's talk about real quick. They had maps. Okay, so blue is, talk about our teams real quick. On the left side in blue is going to be Ghosts of Yavapai CMYCCASTT. I have no idea what that stands for. But let's move over. Look at our teams real quick. And then in red on the right is going to be PSISTORM. Oh, cool. It looks like someone's game crashed, so we gotta wait on them anyway. So let's get this set up real quick. Get the bands, get the map picks, and then we'll talk briefly about these teams. Beat that music while we wait for their teammate to show up. Once again, I apologize to both teams. I would have had this set up much sooner. Alright, so Ghosts, they banned Braxis and Dragonshire. The PSISTORM banned Sky Temple and Towers of Doom. First map, looks like Ghosts won the coin toss. They took first pick. PSISTORM is taking us to Tomb. So let's get that set up. Update. Everything looks good. Oh, okay. Well, they moved. I'm gonna let them know they're all ready to go. I'm gonna let them know to go ahead and start. I'm gonna get a quick message out to all the teams. Let them know where we are at, stream-wise anyway. And it looks like we're good to go. I'll let them know that I'm ready, and I believe got everything should be set up. So we got bands, map picks, and we're ready for draft. So talk about the games real quick, or the teams real quick. Let me pull that up for y'all. Can I make this just big enough to fit on the screen? I can. There it is. You should see it anyway. Hoping you see it because it's not showing preview on my side of things. Let's pop it to D West. So looking at the standings, Ghosts of Yavapai sitting at 8th place with 2 dominations. They're 5 and 4 for map score with 7 points. So it looks like they're hanging in there and they're not super far behind. Looks like we had 2 withdrawals in D West. So it looks like that's probably where their 2 dominations came from. So they may be having a little bit of a rough start for the season. But switch over to PSISTORM, who I have casted one game. They I don't remember who the game was against, but they did really well. I think it was against Blendfin Murgles. I think PSISTORM just came out and did a number on them. But Bloodfin looks like they're up there. So for PSISTORM to be in 6th behind Bloodfin, or maybe it may have been We the Papegas, because I do remember casting We the Papegas, so it might have been them. But PSISTORM, 9 points, 3 dominations, 2 I'm going to assume are from the withdrawals, and then 6 games won, 0 is lost. That's really kind of the key thing, which is really odd for their positioning. I'll have to come back to that one. But looks like teams are ready to go. I'm going to switch us over to draft here real quick. And once again, I do want to apologize to both teams. This is Div D West Nexus Gaming Series with RavenX, Ghosts of Yavapai, and that's all the more I'm going to say of that name, because that name, if you want to see the whole name, it's in the stream title, because that is a very large name, versus PSISTORM. That's PSISTORM on the right side. So, bans. 2 in the Spider Queen, no double soaking happening with the Malthael, gonna get him off the board. There's a Deathwing ban. I've been told that Deathwing doesn't feel ban worthy right now, after his nerfs. I haven't seen him yet. I've played against him a little bit, pre-nerf and post-nerf. He still feels pretty powerful to me, but in a coordinated setting, it may not matter all that much. So, Deathwing off the board. And a Zul'jin ban. Not super strong on the map, but can be a strong hero all around. Utherman. Checking my Discord real quick. Okay, I didn't miss anything else, so. I came into the computer, I'm like, I'm gonna set up the stream, and then I have 4 pings in the Div D chat. Oh, whoops, sorry. Looks like I got 2 follows, Valera and Silverwasp, thank you for your follows. Appreciate having you around. Joanna, first pick for Ghosts of Yavapai. Strong, all-around hero, good rotational hero for the map. It's great first pick. Kel'Thas, another good first pick. Good wave clear, again, for the map. And a new Brack. I'm not sure where Nubarak stands nowadays. I know he's always been a decent tank under certain circumstances, especially with dive. And he has two CC buttons and a third if you count wrap post 10. So he in terms of CC availability, he has some of the most, but he struggles into certain heroes, such as anything with early auto attacks. He does not, however, struggle into Jaina. So that is, while good for the map, Rhaegar, Jaina, good both macro heroes. Nubrak can give Jaina a little bit of a rough time. We have a Kira ban. I haven't seen a whole lot of her nowadays, at least in Storm League. I haven't really seen her in comp either, so she's off the board. She's kind of frustrating to deal with. And an Alex Straza. That's an interesting ban. Alex Straza doesn't do too much for the map. I'd say the best thing she could offer is maybe boss control with Dragon, but other than that, she doesn't have any times where she's gonna sit and really want to make use of Dragon. So maybe they're banning her out for other reasons. Raynor Anna pickup. So Anna pairs well with Kel'Thas. Raynor can be a nuisance to a noob, so taking that as away from Ghosts of Yavapai as an option is good. And then just all around good hero. So final 2 heroes coming out from Ghosts of Yavapai. Gonna need an offlaner and another, preferably a sustained DPS. We get a Tracer. That's ballsy. Into a Raynor. A Raynor alone can make that rough. Kel'Thas bomb on you makes you, your time is limited in how deep you can be. So, not a hero I'd pick into it, but see how she goes. She also doesn't have a really strong support behind her in Rhaegar, so we'll just see if the Tracer play. I mean, if the Tracer play is outstanding, then it works out well. And Sonya, good offlaner. Blaze gonna be the offlaner, I believe, for PSISTORM. So Blaze Sonya matchup is interesting. We'll have to see how that goes on. But we are gonna go into game number 1 of our Div D West Ghosts of Yavapai versus PSISTORM this evening. If you are just joining me, I was late, very late for this, so I do appreciate all of you that are joining me this evening. Apologies, I muted the incorrect input. Alright, let's get into this here. On the right side, we have PSISTORM with Cyan on Anub'arak, Elixia on Raynor, Xeno Ender on Blaze, Snorlax on Anna. Never seen that skin. Oh yeah, I have. Okay. Just threw me off a little bit. And then we're on Kael'thas. And on the left side, Ghosts of Yavapai, we have Shankby on the Tracer, Andrade on Joanna, Lilabelle on Rhaegar, Hybrid Remix on Jaina, and down here alone, Mega Milk on the Sonya. Middle mouse button has appeared to have stopped functioning for me. Apologize. I might have to play with this a little bit because it's not doing what I want it to. There we go. I think that's better. Alright, pull up talents here. Take a look. Nothing looks like too really out of the ordinary at all for anyone. Lilabelle taking a little bit of damage. Swap into our game overlay here real quick. So this is what I was talking about with the Anub'arak. Anub'arak can get poked down pretty heavily, but there's not a lot of poke to be had from the sides of Ghosts of Yavapai. So Xeno has a little bit of an advantage with the range on the clear, but Mega Milk's just going to be able to sit back at relatively close to his wall, or their wall, and pick up the hero, pick up the soak. Jade stepping up, getting the gems, getting the soak, and then walking right out of there. Hold your ground. This should work out decently well for the extra little bit of sustain on a 15-second cooldown. However, they are going to take quite a bit of damage, but nope, with that shield being available on a 15-second cooldown gives gives Andrade plenty of time to just walk away. Now, they are a little bit low here. It's a little bit dangerous to step up here at this point. If they go down, they end up dropping all their gems, popping trait just in time to walk away with 12 health. Still taking dots from Anna, but walks away just enough. Just, nope, I'm going to go way the hell over here. I'm not going to die. See what's going on in the bot lane. Not much. It's kind of each person sitting and doing what they can. Now, the one thing about Tracer has pretty weak wave clear on her own, so the wave clear is available by their teammates, so really shouldn't be in here picking up soak by themselves. There should be putting as much pressure on as possible onto PSISTORM, but PSISTORM is going to kind of be doing the reverse and putting a lot of pressure onto Andrade. Andrade going rather low frequently, so he's going to struggle a bit to keep this up as the game wears on. The rotations, looks like they got a little bit of discombobulated on the rotation. They're doing a good job not to miss soak, but they are going to want to pick up their rotation here in just a minute. Now this gives PSISTORM the ability to go ahead and come down and look for a gank or a turn-in. Turn-in is also acceptable. But that did give Megamelts checking out this this camp being taken by Blaze. We got a couple of people down here. This is going to look to be potentially a 5v4 on camp. Tracer pushing out the Ana, Megamelts stepping up, trying to finish up the camp. There's very little damage going out on this, but we do have 5 people on this camp for Ghosts of Yavapai, and PSISTORM's just going to go ahead and give it up. PSISTORM turning in their gems here. Let's see what kind of pressure we get with this. With Blaze backing, they're actually going to get quite a bit of damage with those giants. It's actually a really good pickup for them. We're looking at the gems, both teams capable of getting a summon from a full turn in. It looks like we are going to get a first turn in by Ghosts of Yavapai. And bot lane, these camp did quite a bit of damage. Most of the gate and bot tower, Megamilk a little bit out with full 5-man rotation down here to pick them off. They are going bye-bye. Meanwhile, Ghosts of Yavapai taking advantage of the 5-man rotation bot. They're going to go ahead and pick up as much damage as they can in the top lane. Tracer dancing around just a little bit. Another 5-man rotation coming out from PSISTORM into the top lane. I'm going to go ahead and dive in on the Jaina. Follow-up stun by the Blaze. Miss, but Unstoppable went out on the Jaina anyway. It's good Unstoppable. Meanwhile, Tracer in the backline dropping bombs onto Ana. She's going to go to sleep, and with that, Shank is gotta be careful. Doesn't have a recall yet available, but that is a very favorable trade for them. There's 4 people defending for PSISTORM top. Meanwhile, Ghosts have 2 lanes, one pushing passively, and they're actively pushing mid. Cyan's not a good spot. He needs to get out of there. Nope, he's going to go down. That is a decent number of gems that they're going to lose as well. KT just absolutely getting destroyed by Tracer. Doing quite a bit of work. I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see the amount of damage that she's able to put out, and value, I should say. Not a lot of damage, I should say, but she's definitely getting value. So it looks like we have the starts of Living Bomb build from Kael'thas, Sleep Dart build from Ana. That's an interesting decision to go heals. Definitely want to go armor into something bursty like a Jaina and a Tracer with bomb, but we'll see how that works out. Now, Ghosts of Yavapai opting to pick up boss with their level 10s. They don't have a second turn in, but they do need to be careful to defend a turn in because they do have 10s first. However, if they allow PSISTORM to pick up 10s and turn themselves, as I say, they could potentially get value, but their lanes are so pushed in now, plus this boss pushing. This is only a 7-minute boss, so it's not going to get a ton of value, but 5-men push with it. Let's see how much damage Ghosts of Yavapai sustain while pushing here. Looks like they're going to settle for the keep wall. It's a good decision. 10's picked up by PSISTORM. This camp has been pushing a little bit. It hasn't been getting a whole lot of value, but it is pushing out their lanes. So that's definitely a good thing for them because they're about to be sitting at their own keep walls for the rest of this game. Ghosts of Yavapai not quite able to turn in. They will be here ever so shortly though. PSISTORM, with picking up level 10s, they're going to want to go ahead and look to get their turn in so they can actually get some value. Unstoppable out on Joanna. That was unnecessary, but so that cooldown is going to be down for, was it 45? Oh no, 60 seconds. Sorry, he has a full length. Looks like standard ults from pretty much everyone. Mana boost. There's a zoning Phoenix. Good stun on the Tracer. Looks like Tracer's going to be able to walk away though. However, we do have Andrade up here taking a decent bit of damage. Looks like the poke war wrap out onto the Tracer. Not going to be able to clear that in time just barely. Cyan taking quite a bit of damage, trading damage onto the tanks. Meanwhile, Tracer gets onto the Ana, drops a bomb, doesn't quite kill her. Andrade's still low, having to back off a little bit, so no kills, but quite a few ults traded. Pretty much every single ult traded by both teams. A timer. Is that a percent? Is that the percent? I've never seen that before. I don't think I've ever casted a Tracer. Let's see. That must be a percent. It is! Cool. The more you know. Alright, so next turn in did get picked up by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT, so they're going to go ahead and look to continue to push with their advantage. They did catch a Blaze out of position. He might just barely walk away. Looks like he does get behind his wall, so he'll be here for the defense. But we have a full Web Weaver with 13 advantage, talent advantage by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. They are looking incredibly strong at this point, but once again, up against the wall here, or against the enemy team's wall. Hybrid Remix taking a ton of dots, actually ends up going down fully. Play stun, doesn't quite connect. KT looking for anything as possible. Wrap on to the Tracer gets cleared. Bombs getting spread, doing a decent amount of damage, but we have two lanes of Web Weavers getting pushed in onto PSISTORM's side of the map. They are going to have to clear these quickly, or else they're going to lose at least one keep. Don't think they're going to clear it in time? Nope. So, GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT securing both a keep, a siege camp. Now, they do not have another turn in for a while, so that is the only potential saving grace now, is that for PSISTORM is that their lanes are pushed in so far, if they don't hard clear lanes, they can slowly pick up gems while denying them to their opponents. But the problem that they're going to run into is that if they don't get this turn in, especially with Ana being nowhere near this fight, this is about to be a 5v4 in favor of GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. They are going in doing a lot of damage. Ancestral out onto the Jaina. Not much else going on. Leela, Rhaegar a little bit low. I'm going to back this up just a little bit more so we can see a little bit more of these team fights. GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT, they want this fight, I think. I think they want to force it. Before... Oh, so see, they positioned for it, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and back off. Now, top Web Weaver, bot Web Weaver, they're not going to go anywhere anytime soon, so the main focus is going to be mid lane for both teams. But, well, never mind, PSISTORM's going to go ahead and rotate to top lane because mid is almost dead. Tracer goes in, has to recall, so that is not available for an aggressive engage at any time. So mid relatively easily cleared, and then top lane. GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT going to go ahead and try and enforce the engagement before 16s. Which is not the best fight for them to take, but they are up 2 levels. Tracer gets grabbed. Bunker going down. Did see a stun go out from Joanna. And in all of that, Raynor is the only person so far to go down. Cyan a little bit of a rough spot. Don't know if he's going to be able to walk away. It does not look like it. Nope. So that is a 5. All 5 alive still for Ghosts. They do have 16s, and they're not going to push their advantage to Corn, so they're going to go ahead and get a boss instead. Now, surprisingly, PSISTORM actually still has an available turnip. They kind of need it to defend this boss, I think. I might have a little bit of a rough time. Down 16s. Now, if they can't really fight past the boss. It doesn't look like... are they? Yeah, Ghost is going to go ahead and push with the boss. Rhaegar turning in his a little bit. Sound cut out there, I'm not sure what happened there. So it is a 5-man defense, but do they have enough with the 16 taunts? GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT is going to have to either focus down core or fight into the core, which is a little bit of a rough spot. Andrade going to take quite a bit of damage, so is Jaina. A lot of damage going on from the side of PSISTORM. That is kind of the problem with pushing in, but do they secure the key, or do they secure the core with boss? So it looks like that is actually the case. So losing 3 people, securing the core, winning the game, that was a incredibly calculated call, I would say, for Ghosts of Yavapai. So game number 1, gonna go to the Ghosts of Yavapai. Let's go ahead and take a look at stats here in just a moment. While we wait on the second lobby. One to blue team. Alright, so map number 2. Apparently I have maps chosen that I did not in fact put up. So let's go ahead and update those. There we go. Alright, take a look at stats. So siege damage topped out by Kel'Thas and Joanna. Damage really low on the side of, well, kill count on both teams really low altogether, but you see no real substantial damage going out. Just really targeted precision snipes essentially from Ghosts of Yavapai. That was incredibly coordinated on their part. A little bit more healing from the Rhaegar. Nothing, the game, 13 minutes, there's not any substantial stats. I think one of the biggest tells is Kel'Thas got a huge amount of soak for PSISTORM, so that may have hurt them in the long run, but overall, I mean, they're a level behind. I imagine primarily, no, not even due to kills. I'd have to actually go back and look and see where the primary soak came from, but you see two members higher than everyone else on the side of Ghosts of Yavapai, but they still ended up being behind by a full level, a couple levels at one point. So go to our overview here. See what we got going on. Tell you when I wait for the teams to let me know where we're going. To everyone that has joined me this evening, thank you very much for tagging along. Looks like Ghosts of Yavapai are going to have a map pick, so let's see what map we're going to. Uh-oh. And let them know I'm ready for an invite to the lobby. Being controlled by my team captain in chat. There we go. Let's throw the Raven in there. So, got a quiet chat tonight. You guys having a good Sunday evening? Everyone ready to go back to work or school? Nobody's going back to school on December 29th. Everyone looking forward to the new year. I know I'm looking forward to the new year. I'm not gonna do anything special with it, but looking forward to it. Alright, we are in the lobby. Phone going off, excuse me, that. Alright, so we have 2 pending members of our lobby here. So next game, Alterac Pass, is going to be chosen by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. Let's go ahead and update our map here. Never been a huge fan of this map. It's always been one I've had a little bit of a rough time with. But looking at the, so let's take a look back at the our browser window here. So again, looking at the, I'm actually incredibly surprised by the outcome of game number 1 so far. The game's loss, that is the first map loss for PSISTORM. So let's take a look at their results so far. So they have 2 forfeits and a domination. So yeah, so We the Papegas is in fact the game that I casted previously, and they did take a 2-0 with a pretty commanding fashion. So I am definitely surprised. So see how game number 2 goes. They may have just had a little bit of a rough time with their coordination. You know that it's any number of things that could have happened. Let's take a look at GhostsOfYavapai's schedule so far, or results so far. So they have taken 2 forfeits. They had 1 map pick up from We the Papegas, and then they got O2'd by this Bloodfin Myrtle. So Bloodfin, looking back at the standings, are number 2. So not a huge surprise looking just at the standings so far that you would see them dropping O2 to Bloodfins. But like I said, coming out strong this evening, taking a game. We will have to see what game number 2 brings us. Struggling with our lobby just a little bit. Let's throw this music on here for you. I don't know if you can hear it at this volume. I think I can hear it. Here it is. I think it's on. Switch back over to here. Got myself nice and buzzed for the actually just started working armed security for a nightclub nearby. It's kind of a part-time gig, so I had to make myself look as menacing as possible. With these, it's kind of hard, but I think take these off and it's like, I don't know. You have to let me know. My wife doesn't find me very menacing, but it's probably a good thing. All right, so we have 9 people with 1 pending. There we go. Hold on, let's see if we got it. I see 10 people in lobby. We're gonna keep 10 people. Let them know I'm ready. Oh, they're ready. Got me some drink here before game number 2. We think we are ready. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and hop into draft number 2 on Alterac Pass. Again, this is Nexus Gaming Series Div D West, Ghosts of Yavapai versus PSISTORM. Ghosts of Yavapai taking game number 1. I don't think I updated that score. Let me do that right now. There we go. PSISTORM opting for first pick, so Ghosts of Yavapai picking this map specifically. See what they got in store for it. Luther Band by PSISTORM once again. Kara recliner, unscared. I try to be scary as much as possible. And we picked up another Maltheo ban, game number 2. So, it just doesn't seem like they like Maltheo. Valyria, no go tonight on that BS. Looks like they don't want the Deathwing. Sorry if you hear my cat. She is. Apparently this time of night is always wanting attention. So, Zul'jin ban. So, bans stayed the same from game 1 to game 2. Joe pickup by PSISTORM this time. They went ahead and sniped that. Joe is, in fact, the most picked hero in all of NGS right now, so that's not surprising. Infernal Shrines is the #1 most picked map, which did not get banned, did it? Let's double check. Not get banned, but it has not been picked, so that's an interesting. At least we have a different maps. That's good to know. Rhaegar Arthas, pick up by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. Arthas is an interesting decision early on in the draft. Nothing showing by PSISTORM that would make you really need an Arthas, but Andrade, assuming he's playing the tank again, may have something up his sleeve or a preference for the Arthas. Raynor, Jaina, 2 DPS picked up by PSISTORM, so they're showing their cards pretty early. Again, they picked up 2 all-around strong, do everything type heroes, so it didn't work out too well with them for them last game, but well, just taking kind of non-specialized heroes, but they sniped the Joe, they sniped the Jaina, and they stuck with their Raynor, so they're gonna have a pretty strong trio or 4-man based on that alone, and now it's just a matter of what does their healer look like. Alex ban once again by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT, and then Tracer by PSISTORM. They didn't want to see any more of that crap. That's gone. We don't want that no more. So no more running in killing everyone. And so Shank decides I'm gonna take Chromie instead, and then Kira pick up by Mega Milk. So that was banned game number 1 by PSISTORM. So that must have been a scouted ban for them. Junkrat, 3 squishy backline DPS. So Junkrat, Raynor are capable of offlaning. And Anna healer. So Anna pairs well with both Junkrat and Anna and Jaina. They are going to abuse the shit out of this Arthas, I can tell you that right now. And then GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT opted to do the same thing. Let's run solo frontline. And well, kind of. They have 3 melee heroes and a nuke. Somebody capable of nuking, or at least poking from range. It's an interesting comp on the side of GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. They have a combo hero. They have a dive hero. They have a kind of an anti-melee AA tank, and then a Chromie. Like there's nothing about Chromie. Like she just sit back, but she's not gonna really have the ability to sit back for long and do a lot of damage because she doesn't have a front line that can just sit there and hold out while she does things. So I said the Tracer was interesting. I'm gonna say the same thing about the Chromie. The Chromie is interesting. So let's move on over to our in-game layout. Get zoomed out here just a little bit. So that's not what I want to do. Ooh, I'm breaking all of the things. Hold on. Zoom out once again. There we go. That's what I want. Alright. So, on GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT, we have Shank on the Chromie Hybrid Remix on the Alrak, Lilabelle on Rhaegar, Andrade on the Arthas, and then Mega Milk on the Kira. And then for PSISTORM, Valera on Rainer, Scion on Joanna, Xeno Ender on Jaina, Elixia on Junkrat, and Snorlax on Anna. So again, I find the draft by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT interesting. It just, there's a lot of, like, I don't see a heavy amount of, like, coordination, like, not coordination, but, like, synergy between these heroes. Because Rhaegar's not particularly good at just upkeeping frontline, or people in general, so Jada's going to be heavily reliant on self-sustain, but for an Arthas tank, you tend to need to take non-self-sustained talents. So our offlane is going to be the Junkrat versus the Kira. There should not ever be a world where Kira loses this, but shouldn't necessarily... I'm sorry, Junkrat loses this, but Kira should be decent herself, because Junkrat has 0 siege. We have tank offlaning bot against Jaina. Alright, and then we have main tank. Alright, I'm thinking it's offlane Arthas, and then main tank Alarak. That's what I'm getting from this. Take a look at our talents. We have Lightning by Alarak. That makes me sad. I've done some tests. Lightning is possibly the worst build right now. You just have to stack it so incredibly high to outperform Q talent at 4. But we have Q coming from Chromie. Standard talents on Arthas, standard on Kira, and Rhaegar so far. Well, the old standard anyway. I'm not sure what Rhaegar's standard is anymore. Nothing. Hello, we have Arthas killing Jaina. Sad I missed that. That is a thing that happened. Valera coming down and say, I'm gonna punish you for that a little bit. Andrade, I'm not sure if he's just backing or slowly B-stepping. I'm not sure what's going on there. Alright, so I gotta watch this now. I gotta see what's gonna happen. Nope, they're gonna leave. Oh. Well, forget you then. Standard pickups. Oh, not so much a standard pickup. So this, I haven't seen this build come out from Junkrat much. Just tends to be underperformed. It tends to underperform versus the trap talents, especially for this map. That tends to be why you take Junkrat, is to set up traps and control a point. So not taking trap talents kind of defeats the purpose of picking the hero, at least from my point of view. Jade in there quite a bit, gonna get blown away by the Junkrat, possibly saved by the Junkrat. Stacking up pretty heavily for the AoE on the side of PSISTORM, so Cyan running in, pulling people into all of the damage. Backline DPS, you have two decently AoE heroes, and then 2 sustaining heroes. Kind of like Junkrat fills both of those roles, so it's just a lot of damage. Really, if Snorlax can keep Cyan up decently with the Anna Joanna combo, they should be able to sustain long enough for that backline to actually do a decent bit of damage. Seven's picked up ever so slightly faster by PSISTORM. Junkrat kind of almost running himself into a world of shit. he could have got severely punished for where he was right there. So quite a bit of skirmishing. Arthas down soaking bot, Rainer up soaking mid, so they're going to both try and keep themselves decently up in soak. Just kind of depends on who is capable of actually engaging, and I think early on the advantage is to PSISTORM just because of the sheer amount of damage that they have, but that may fall off later as the game goes on, especially because of all the stacking heroes on the side of GhostsOfYavapai. The higher that those heroes stack, the more threat they're going to be to the solo frontline. Megamilk going in pretty deep, getting onto the Jaina, not quite being able to secure a kill. Hybrid Remix taking quite a bit of damage himself. Does walk away though, and Joe ends up going down. Not enough sustain to really be able to keep the Joe up. Meanwhile, Hybrid Remix is going to go ahead and get a tap. A lot of low mana pools on the side of GhostsOfYavapai, so they're going to have to do something quickly, or they're going to have to concede the point and then try and pick it up again. With that kill, it gives them a slight advantage in XP. A big wave down bot. Somebody's going to have to come pick that up or risk losing all of that. So we just have a lot of dancing right now. Like the advantage is to GhostsOfYavapai for sure. Andrade stepping. I'm trying to get a little bit of a ends up canceling to turn on his trait. Bomb goes out, or mine goes out, so that gives him an opportunity to go ahead and try stepping on point. Mine comes out just in time to knock Megamilk off. Lisa's got 4 good interrupts before they have to actually engage to do anything with this. So they are out. Chromie's going to go ahead and put some damage onto the Junkrat to try and force him out. Is actually going to have to leave, but Andrade stepped up, ate a ton of damage, and he's out of there. So without a frontline, that's pretty much the end of that engage capability of GhostsOfYavapai. PSISTORM showing their first real bit of life here as they take the first cap of the game on this objective. So I still give the poke war to GhostsOfYavapai, but if Andrade just takes like a lot of unnecessary damage trying to force these engagements without any real hard CC, they're relying on a pull from Alarak into a root or slow from the Arthas, and that's a high execution in order to really pull off. And then since your only real option tends to be to grab the Joe has an unstoppable, so managed to sneak a cap. Both teams up or have 10s. Junkrat no longer part of the fight. Ring goes down, grabs 2 people. Andrade is in there, so is Megamilk. They're gonna go ahead and grab onto the Joe. Cyan not walking out of there. Almost securing a kill with the ult, but Andrade ends up going down instead. Megamilk just barely letting Junkrat walk away with, or Rainer walk away with barely a little bit of health left. Now, low health on Megamilk, low health on Xeno and Snorlax, so this is still an advantage to GhostsOfYavapai, and they're actually going to go ahead and secure first objective. Both teams hitting 10s. Junkrat starting the fight with the rocket ride. This ult makes me incredibly sad. It's all around. This ult is, unless you have setup where you're going to secure hits on 2-3 people, it's just not an ult worth taking. Army of the Dead, Sling Sands, Final Strike, Social Healing, Counter Strike. Chromie finishes her quest. Rhaegar a little bit too far in there, gets picked up. Stun goes out from Cyan, and this is now going to be a 4v3 bot in the favor of PSISTORM into an objective. However, Cyan stepping up into the zone. Raw Ring goes out, grabs 2 people, and with There we go. A little bit of a reprieve, but Andrade ends up going down. Shank gonna be able to poke pretty heavily now while with completing that quest. Hyperion, yeah, I'm not a fan of either of these ults, but we'll see if they can make something out of it. The Alarak gets blasted back into the fight. He goes down. Jaina, however, goes down as a counter kill. Gets a decent hit from Rocket Ride, but Mega Milk is going to walk away with no problem. And Hyperion just flying over, waving hello, and flying away. Junkrat zooming back into the fight now. Very little value to be had from GhostsOfYavapai with that objective. They're still behind ever so slightly in experience. And it just really they weren't able to secure anything much at all, and then ended up dropping what, 2 deaths, 3 deaths during that. So can't pick up PSISTORM. Wondering if they were maybe positioning for a boss, but that's probably not in their best interest. So they're just gonna go ahead and soak bot lane, let their camp die middle. Camp is going to actually, this is definitely in the favor of GhostsOfYavapai if they give bot. Or at least not heavily commit to bot, they could secure some damage with this camp, but it looks like they're gonna go ahead and let it go. Here at top lane did get a frozen waste finish by Arthas, so extra slows for longer periods of time. Cyan gonna have to pop Unstoppable to walk away at this point. Unstoppable popped onto Andrade. Andrade throwing roots. Still, what, 6 away from finishing? PSISTORM looking at boss. Just checking it, okay. So, got 5 people up top. 4, GhostsOfYavapai gonna go ahead and walk into this objective. They are still a quarter level down. Elixia getting grabbed, popping all up, gonna go ahead and pick up 2 hits. Again, decent damage, not securing any kills. Andrade is in here alone, though. He is going to go down. He did not have any friends whatsoever. And Junkrat's going to go ahead and just boost right back on in. Chopping the spray for good measure. So when I play Junkrat, if I ever take that ult, or I take the new shiny level 20, I don't get off that bitch unless I have to. I just zoom. Rhaegar, he's in the wrong place. He died. So that's the end of that. Elixia eating a few bits of damage, but being able to cap the point nonetheless. So we have a 15-second advantage over to the favor of PSISTORM, and then the travel time taken from Rhaegar. This might actually be a secured objective for them unless they end up giving a kill. Or giving a death in the meantime. Especially with Jaina top, this is a potential for a 4v4. But with Andrade just coming up, just making it to the fight, Rhaegar just coming up, not quite going to make it to the fight. Andrade's going to walk in, try and secure anything really, but you know, as much as I hate that ult, he's actually going to use that to zone people off point. You just can't really cap while you're getting the shit kicked out of you. And speaking of that, 3 people dead on the side of GhostsOfYavapai. That was a very secured objective by PSISTORM. So we're going to go ahead and push mid. Ult goes out by Mega Milk, only hitting the tank, no real value. They're going to secure damage with the objective, with Hyperion. They're going to go ahead and continue to push into keep wall. Very healthy objective, only Mega Milk defending. The rest of the team, or at least most of the team, backing up. Alarak just now coming alive, and this is what I was saying earlier, the only 16 or 18 sacks, this damage is virtually inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. So until they start forcing heavy fights, and with only one frontliner, like I don't ever see that getting stacked more than maybe, I don't know, 25-30. That's just not gonna be a substantial amount of damage. Rhaegar got rotated on top lane. Just kind of watching watching Ghost defend bot. Didn't even think about the rotation onto the Rhaegar, and that opens up the capability of PSISTORM to pick up their top boss. Should be a pretty easy pickup for them with the Junkrat. Mine definitely want to go onto the point to be able to knock people off of it just in case. GhostsOfYavapai probably aware that this is happening, but not a whole lot they can really do about it. They are going to go and clear lanes as much as possible, and PSISTORM's just going to look to double boss. Everyone up by both, or on the side of GhostsOfYavapai, so they could contest. However, they do risk giving a keep. I don't know that they necessarily lose a keep, probably. But it is 15-minute boss, probably not, but they're going to go and contest the other boss. Rhaegar is still lagging quite a bit behind, so this is a 5v4 for quite a bit. Rhaegar securing a camp, securing their siege camp instead of coming down and helping with this boss. Cyan's still taking actually quite a bit of damage. Raw Ring goes out, hits 2 people. Counter Strike hits absolutely nobody. Joe goes down. Arthas goes down, Raynor goes down to the ult by Junkrat, and GhostsOfYavapai actually ends up stealing that boss. And their keep should actually live. So good choice, actually, by them. Go ahead and clean up the points, or clean up these minions here. 20 race is in the favor of PSISTORM, however. So, boss secured a fort. There's no well to tap here anymore, no well mid, so there's a camp pushing mid by GhostsOfYavapai, and they are about to cap the point, so this is really in their favor at the moment. PSISTORM still 2 people dead for another couple of seconds. Gonna have to clear mid fort, or mid camp. If I was them, I'd love to wait for 20, but they're in a little bit of a rough spot that letting this late game objective go is risky. So it looks like they're gonna go ahead and force the pre-20 fight. Arthas just goes in deep, ends up going into the Jaina. A lot of damage comes out onto Andrade. He goes down. Rhaegar also goes down. Jaina getting sniped by Mega Milk. Mega Milk getting out of there. 2 really low DPS on the side of GhostsOfYavapai. Shank looking to actually secure the objective with Poke. Actually just gets a kill onto Raynor. Just gonna keep going. 1.3 seconds left on the objective. Finally picked up by Snorlax. However, Cyan eating a ton of damage by Chromie. And this is an opportunity for GhostsOfYavapai to actually re-engage. 3v2, they're down 20s, so it's a little scary, but I mean, they only need 1.3 seconds. Literally, all they have to do is go and kill one other person, and then they can actually secure that. But looks like they're gonna go ahead and clear, play it safe, get 20, wait for their team to come up. They do have their team coming up a lot faster than PSISTORM, so they kind of have time to play with. So with that time, they're going to go ahead and run down here. Still 3 seconds on Raynor. Root goes out. They're going to get 1 interrupt. No bombs on Elixia, so Elixia actually doesn't have the opportunity to currently stop the cap, but ult going to go out. They're going to go ahead and drop that out. Ring goes out. Ult. Nice defense by Ghosts on that combo. That could have been nasty. Andrade taking a lot of damage, but a ton of Chromie damage going out all over PSISTORM. There's the second ult by Junkrat, barely able to get that off. Doesn't secure any kills, but does a decent amount of damage with it. So the only death on the side of GhostsOfYavapai coming from the Kira. And it is another 2-for-1 trade in that engagement. They do pick up the point. Alarax can stay bot and clear this. Look to push us in. Normally you want to get at least 2 keeps down, because pushing into the armor with the 60 armor on the, or 40 armor once you get a keep down onto the objective is really rough. But let's see. Zoning ult out from Raynor. Raynor gonna go ahead. Oh, Andrade goes over the bush. He's in a little bit of trouble if actually get focus damage, but Valeria not there to be able to help finish off the Arthas. Execute, yeah, that definitely would have been a dead Arthas. They were able to clear mid objective. PSISTORM staying alive ever so slightly. Now, does Stormy does have Pierce, so that's a massive amount of damage in small areas. Gonna have a ring out on Liddell and an, oh my lord, okay. That's a rocket ride all over Rhaegar's face. And that effectively puts an end to this push. Now, boss is up in 22nd bot. Boss is up now, top lane. Jaina just now finishing Fingers of Frost, so that is a pretty substantial boost for them. If they can take an even fight now. Of course, they're up. They're up without a healer on GhostsOfYavapai. Yavapai going for top boss, and so instead of looking to engage 5v4, they're just going to opt to pick up their own boss. So there is a lot more of structures to push through by PSISTORM, and GhostsOfYavapai capped their boss substantially earlier. So this comes down to, does PSISTORM look for a fight, or do they go back and clear? 2 people went back, 3, it looks like 3, so they're going to look to take the 5v5 on objective. I don't agree with it. I would have definitely looked to pick a fight, but I mean, both teams got to clear the boss now. Boss, decently healthy for PSISTORM, almost down for Yavapai, so theirs is gone. Camp picked up mid by Ghost. PSISTORM going to go ahead and pick up their own camp, and then we will see who ultimately wins this this late game fight. Basically, whoever wins this last late game engagement basically should take the game, but we'll see if that is in fact the case. Clearing mid camp. Now, if this camp continues to push, goes on uncontested, it will take a keep. That is for sure going to happen. 22-minute camp, that keep is dead. Cyan going in, pulling the Andrade. Arthas eating some damage. Crummy trying to poke. This is definitely a poke war in favor of GhostsOfYavapai. However, since this camp is going to push, this is going to secure a keep while this is going on. So the longer this goes, the better this is for PSISTORM. Raw ring goes out, hits absolutely nobody. Ult goes out by Junkrat. Junkrat ends up pulling out both of the ults. Just damage out on Andrade. Andrade taking quite a bit of damage. Not quite going down. Gets the Ancestral, stays alive. Mega Milk throwing out the ult. Just barely missing Valeria. No deaths as of yet. Alexia coming back. No ults available to him. Oh my god, that was a huge counter-strike. Ends up securing the Ana kill. They're on top of the Joe. Valeria has a ton of dots. Self-heals manages to keep her alive. But now we have camp onto core, but I don't think it matters. With Ana dead, that camp will clear itself. Should clear itself. Yeah, it'll get cleared. This is basically GhostsOfYavapai's game at this point. You would need to fight past objective as PSISTORM or force a 4v5 and take a favorable engagement in order to take this. I don't see that happening. So they're one saving grace. Top lane's pushed halfway out. Bot lane's pushed virtually all the way in. Mid lane's pushed pretty much all the way in. They don't have a tank though, so GhostsOfYavapai is in a little bit of a rough spot without a tank here. PSISTORM can run in and force this 4v4. They ended up securing the cap. Throws out 1 ult, 2 ults. Not going to get any real substantial value. Second ult in Rocket Ride coming out. Not going to do much with that. So Andrade's back in the fight. This is their opportunity. They didn't secure any kills. But can they pick up one onto Andrade. No! Mega Milk hitting 4 people with that ult. Counter-Strike goes out. Again, hitting multiple people. AoE ults, eating them like champs. Ended up securing a 1 for 2, trading only their tank. And with that, there's a cap for them. But again, their lanes are pushed heavily in. So they gotta push these lanes out. They have to pick a lane and push. And the only lane that's I mean, none of these lanes are in any real good spot for them to push. So this will come down to the fact that these objectives do not lose health over time, only by taking damage. So looks like they're gonna opt for mid. Mid is the only keep that has not taken damage. Are they going mid? They're going bot. They're indecisive. I think they're just looking to make sure that they don't get caught in a rotation. Cyan out here trying to clear this. He's gonna walk away. So it looks like they are committing to mid, mind blowing a couple people around. So this objective, not gonna do literally anything. See if top does anything. So they're gonna clear top. I think Ghosts can take bot keep here, and then PSISTORM clears top. Actually, they could potentially lose keep to this objective. Jesus, that hits hard. So they definitely lose bot. Now the question is, now I see a retreat ping, so they're not gonna go for the win. And this was what I was saying earlier. They need 2 keeps. If they don't have an objective actively pushing with them, and one that they could actually fight, on a better, up terms, it's kind of hard to secure anything. You'd have to fight in the RR and get damage onto the enemy team. Stun goes out. Good cleanse. Allows Andrade to walk away. I think Andrade popped. Must have popped Icebound. So there's no stun available for PSISTORM. That can be a problem for them. Being down their primary engage tool at this point. Alexia has good opportunity to oh my god, walks a little bit too far. Xeno follows up. Ult out by Alexia, second ult out by Alexia. No problem, just pressing R and then D. Ends up securing kills onto Andrade. Good pull. Well, not a good pull, but I think Alarak just pulled himself into the bombs. Ouch. That hurts. And PSISTORM is gonna go ahead and secure themselves a boss. So Junkrat down here, I think he took. No, he took. That's right. He has a second ult. So, he used the rocket ride upgrade, or the rocket ride, to get himself down to clearing bot lane. Free boss for PSISTORM. So this is looking to be Ghost's game, but I think with that boss, 28-minute boss, I think this actually, if PSISTORM kicks up even a single kill, this is their game. So Junkrat's a little bit ways away. If they force this, that's a fast ult. Hits literally no one. Hook coming out by Chromie. I think this boss just ends the game. It almost doesn't even matter what PSISTORM does. I think the boss by itself will just wreck the score, especially with 2 keeps down. Ult coming out, Riptire coming out, and securing the radar kill, and that's definitely a game. Like there's nothing Ghost can do at this point. Ring goes out, securing the Andrade kill. Mega Milk really low, but it just doesn't matter. Cyan goes down. Like I said, I think even if they all wipe, the boss still ends up ending the game. Yep. So, game number 2, after what seemed like a pretty handy one-sided game for Ghosts of Yavapai, end up actually swinging it, and PSISTORM picks up their win on game number 2. Alright, take a look over to stats. That was amazing. Like, that was a fantastic game. Like, that loads different from game number 1, where Ghosts just felt like they had a really strong lead pretty much the entire game. And really, for a majority of this game, Ghosts also had a good lead going. But This is what I was talking about. Arthas just got shat on the entire game. Like, he just had a really rough time doing much in that shorter period. Like, they had a poke comp. They had a poke, kind of a poke dive. I don't know. It was, like I said, there's a lot of not anti synergy, but there wasn't much synergy. So, we have split 1v1 and 1. I'm gonna see what we get for game number 3. All right, so again, 1-1. Let's see who takes us where. Whether adjust this a little bit here. Forgive my messy house. Christmas has not been kind. Well, it was kind to my sons, and they made an absolute mess. So, uh, we will we'll hopefully be cleaning up that mess sometime soon. I didn't have my lights on. All right, so I got invited. Who picked this map? We are going to Volskaya. No Infernal Shrines. So 0 Infernal Shrines tonight. That is probably a first for me. Volskaya is basically Infernal Shrines, right? See who picked the map. Looks like we have a short so interestingly, seems like map number 3 was actually picked by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. They picked map pick and then they opted to go for Volskaya. So we'll see how that works out for them. Take a look at our options or our map selections here. So neither team has won the map that they picked. So this is Ghost's opportunity to show that they have that their preference of map works in their favor. We'll have to see how that goes. I appear to have developed. Excuse me if you hear buzzing. Apparently, I've adopted a fly. I am not happy about this. It's middle of winter, and I figure all the flies would be dead at this point. I had a horrible gnat and ant problem. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, but consistently had an issue with ants and gnats come springtime through summer, and then they finally die off. They finally go away right as fall hits around. And it is absolutely aggravating. So, if you were just joining me, let's go over where we've been so far. With our first map, we went to Tomb of the Spider Queen, picked by PSISTORM. Ghost came away with the win, pretty commanding fashion. And then game number 2, map picked by GhostsOfYavapai. Seemed like they were gonna take it. A little bit of back and forth as the game went on, but ultimately pulled out by PSISTORM. And a pretty brutal, a lot of deaths. There's I think 16 to 21, something like that. So overall, like close to 35, 40 deaths. That is quite a bit. And as opposed to game number 1 at the very least, so they had 6 to 5. So there's a very large difference between these two games in terms of how they went about winning. Game 1 was more about map. Game 2 became just all out brawl all over the map. so we have one step away for a restroom break. Let's go ahead and take a look over once again at our browser here to see what how this division is shaping up as we go into the latter half of the season. I think this is week 5? We're week 5. 4, round 4. So we will be going into week 5 coming up next week. So next week, both of these teams, looks like they have games coming up. GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT versus The Spoilers, and PSISTORM versus Waiting on Cherry. So on New Year's Day, GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT gonna go ahead and start off the new year with their game. PSISTORM, Waiting on Cherry have yet to be scheduled. Waiting on Cherry, waiting on schedule, more like it. I want to check out my own division, but Randy Newman. I recall my first season ever casting. I'm almost positive I casted this team, and I couldn't remember. Or no, it wasn't Randy Newman. It was who was it? It was another male actor. Oh man, and the person, his name in Discord is the actor, and his team ended up being called the same actor. I'm trying to think. It was the guy. I think it was the guy from Pretty Woman. Hold on, I gotta look it up. We're gonna Google this. That guy. What's his name? Hold on. Richard Gere. There we go. Yeah, it was Richard. I couldn't figure out how to say the name. Richard Gere. I knew the actor. I knew who the guy was. I just couldn't remember how to say his name. Apparently someone spilled a drink on their computer, so we're gonna hold out and see. Hopefully we're not going to lose anyone. Alright, they said alright, so I think we're ready. Alright. I'm gonna say I'm ready, and then I'm gonna run and grab a drink, I believe. Alright, let's head into this draft. Get rid of this chat. Get out of here. Alright, so I'm envisioning a first ban of Deathwing or Uther. Let's go with Uther this time. Nope, Kira. Alright, well. You guys already fucked it up for me. Blair, no more of that. Yeah, the Kira did some work, I will say. Getting rid of that is not a problem. However, we do follow up with our standard mouth ale ban. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick while we wait for the second round of bans. Rhaegar ban. So that's interesting. It's been played by what, 2 games in a row now? I think by both the same teams. So I mean, it's not a terrible ban. Zul'jin continues to be banned by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT, and then Cyan goes ahead and hops right on that Joe pickup. We are all in for a treat. We have a Deathwing followed by an Alexstrasza. We have Double Dragon! Double Dragon! Yes! I can't wait. Haven't seen Deathwing yet. Not in a cast anyway. And then we have Double Dragon. This is gonna get Spicy. Now, Anna, Li Ming, both good answers to the Alexstrasza. Orb plus negative heals grenade by the Anna can be incredibly frustrating in the circle of healing. See how that works out for them. Greymane band. That's an interesting band. Haven't seen Greymane today. I'm not sure why they opted for that one. Wonder if PSISTORM plays a nasty Greymane with Li Ming. Problem is Go for the Throat level 20 is currently banned due to being insanely bugged. I showed a clip where I cast Go for the Throat 6 times in under 10 seconds. That is stupid. They banned Chromie, so it looks like PSISTORM just decided to ban heroes that they see that GhostsOfYavapai play. There's no more dragons, unfortunately. I would have loved to have seen an Anna, or not an Anna, a Hanzo, or added dragon-y type things, and no Brightwing. So, GhostsOfYavapai, you have failed me. You are the, you get out. Not enough dragons. I'm gonna Nubrak Stukov picked up. Dup. So we have a double support with a hero that can't be healed. Alright. Hypercarry Kel'Thuzad. I like it. It's just gonna happen. I mean, they've been doing things. I'm gonna let them keep doing things. Fallen Leoric, last 2 pickups by PSISTORM. So once again, going with the more standard, the boring heroes. Y'all bore me. I'm gonna stick to Yavapai. I'm gonna see them with their dragon memes and their hypercarry Kel'Thuzad and the double. They're out there. This is Div D West, by the way. I'm pleasantly surprised by what I'm seeing in D West. I might have to cast more D West games because this is amusing to say the least. I love it. GM bans for Deathwing. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Curse Bullet can be definitely problematic for the big dragon. All right, game number 3. I am so excited. This pink freaking dragon right here. I am Mega Milk for GhostsOfYavapai. We have Mega Milk on the Deathwing. Yes. We have Andrade on the Anubarak. We have me with a broken scroll wheel again. Shoot, hold on. I might need a new mouse. Shankby on the Alexstrasza. Lilabelle on Stukov. Hybrid Remix on Kel'Thuzad. We have Elixia on the Vala. I think that's the Vala skin. Leo, Zeno Ender on Leo. Valera on the Li Ming, Scion on Joe, and Snorlax on Anna. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get my scroll wheel sorted out. I can in fact not push the button. Hang tight for me one moment, let me see if I can fix this, because not being able to scroll that way is frustrating. Camera. Alright, that we'll have to do for now. Apologies. I might be in the market for a new mouse. Alright, so Deathwing versus Leo. Leo is definitely a good answer. To an extent, to Deathwing, purely due to percentage damage. But, oh no, see how it works out. Leo can dodge all of the things. I kind of want to just, I want to just sit on Leo, or sit on Deathwing and follow Like, let me press this button. Hold on. This is where we're gonna be the rest of the game. Sorry, I can't. I gotta watch Deathwing. All right, so we have camp picked up. The incorrect camp picked up by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. That hopefully they're looking to push with that because that's not gonna do much for them. However, PSISTORM gets the correct camp. I don't know what to say at this point. Like, I'm kind of just... I'm along for the ride with you guys. This game is... I don't know. Camp not quite cleared yet. Doing a good job of letting it push so that they can clear it. So that's going to get cleared up now by PSISTORM. GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT stepping up here. We have 6 stacks so far on Kel'Thuzad. Mega Milk. Ooh, wrong button. This might be a problem. Hold on. Zoom out again. No, I did it again. I might have to switch that. It's right next to my 1 key. I'm using the tilde key, which is to the left of 1 if you have a standard QWERTY US keyboard. Playing correctly, dance game. Yep, pretty much. I am a meta slave, I can't help it. I have to do what my meta creating overlords taught me how to do before they killed HGC anyway. Alright, 7 picked up ever so slightly faster by PSISTORM. However, GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT are going to be a little bit aggressive diving in here. Deathwing, I don't know his abilities. I have not played the hero. I don't know what he does. I do know that Tyan is dead. Leo also taking a lot of damage. So I do know that Deathwing is a big hero that eats a lot of shit. all of the shots. He clears waves. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he doesn't do well. I know he doesn't deal with percent damage well, and the only percent damage is Leo, at least until 16. But we have Creed. Well, we have a Creed Vala, so I mean, if they ever get stacked, you know, that could work out well in their favor. This is AA Vala and Orbming. Yes it is, and I'm okay with it. I wouldn't want to be a Calamity Ming. I mean, you're not gonna get reset. I don't think you're gonna get resets into this support. Like, it's not. You're not gonna like reliably get resets. Deathwing has joined the party. Deathwing has pressed R. Sorry, I only know certain things about Deathwing. He takes up so much space. Like when he does something, you just kind of have to call that it's happening. So Joe dead. Secured. Objective secured by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT, and why wouldn't it be? They have 2 dragons. I don't think they used. I don't think dragon was used. Pretty sure dragon wasn't used. I don't know if these are cooldowns because they're black. So I don't know what that's about. Anyway. Now I did it again. Sorry guys, I'm just screwing everything up tonight. I need to zoom out again. There we go. Got the well. Did they get anything mid? Nope, no towers mid. They did get 1 tower top and well, which is good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get a little bit of damage here, try and get at least 1 more tower. Andrade a little bit of low, but he should be able to walk away. Dragon is here. Deathwing online. I need a Deathwing counter. Is there a counter I can put in here? How many times I say Deathwing? 10's picked up ever so slightly faster by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. Let's see what Deathwing's ult is. That's all that matters. Alright, so that's we get a reset on our ult when we kill a keeper of fort. Okay. So you have a sieging objective and you have a sieging dragon. So they're looking to just push things down. Alright, so where are we at? We have 14 stacks of Master of the Cold Dark. I almost said Cold Arts. Take a look at our alts. We have Cocoon, Shadow Fissure, Felling Swipe, Cleansing Flame, and Dragon Talents, by the way. Flame Buffet Talents. Those are happening. Disintegrate, plus Shield, Rain of Evidence, Mana Boost, and Tomb. So you know what being unstoppable, the Unstoppable Dragon doesn't allow you to do? Walk through and Entomb. So that could work out well for them. So where are we at item-wise? So we have one, and we have a heal camp up here on the Alexstrasza. We have Joe fighting Deathwing down here. Meanwhile, the rest of... I did it again! The rest of Joe's team is pushing up top. There's an Entomb, Swipe coming out, however, Andrade dives in trying to save his team. Two people go down. The side of the emitter is sitting on the ground now. That was a fantastic Entomb. Great angle, too. Alt goes out, gets a reset for Hybrid Remix, but does not matter because it only hit the Joe. Meanwhile, Deathwing down here kind of doing their own thing. Deathwing make me sad. You weren't here to save your team. Support cam back, please. I'm sure they would like that. Nice dodge by Valeria. That would have been probably not a good place for them to be. So Deathwing, I believe, has good anti-siege. So the ability to kind of just tell people to nope out, get away from my towers. It's a good thing. Alexi saying, no, this is my heal camp. They do have two heal camps, by the way. Wait, does heal camp work on Deathwing? I wouldn't think so. Can you even pick up items? I need to test that after this game, because I do not know if that is in fact possible. Oh no, he does have an item. Okay, cool. Now, next, does heal camp work on the dragon? I feel like that's not the case, but... Jade going to sleep, and Jade eating a ton of damage, going even deeper. Deathwing going also deep, going to drop all of their abilities, and Tomb comes out. And Entomb dropped to kill himself and his Joanna. Heal camp goes down. Alexia saying, well, you can have it back, but it's going to heal my team. Meanwhile, Valyria caught out, not a good split, goes ahead and teleports away, drops the turret, so that turret is completely irrelevant now. 2 for nothing, so GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT securing second objective so far. And I think PSISTORM has just enough time to come up and try and force another engagement. They are on even talent tiers, but looks like they may be opting to give it up. I don't think they have enough time to rotate up here and actually take this engagement now, unless someone steps on tap. The Cyan would have to step on point here to be able to stop the countdown. Alt comes out. Not a good time to do that, keyboard. Tomb goes out. Hybrid in a little bit of a rough spot. Nobody there to follow up, though. Cyan up here fighting with Andrade. Orbs coming out. Protector ultimately does get picked up, taking quite a bit of damage so far by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. Deathwing has his ult. Now would be a good time to use it right before Fort goes down. He gets a reset here in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and press R once again to potentially secure additional kills. Ooh, they do pick up a Joe kill. Kind of out there. Deathwing pressing the, I think that's Q. Now, what's funny about this is that Kel'Thuzad is still not stacked. Like, they're just wrecking these team fights. Take a look at damage real quick. Deathwing, top damage. Like, this is insane. Like, this shouldn't happen. And I pressed one again. I feel like his numbers just still feel really overtuned. Like, a lot of his abilities, like, they're telegraphed, but when he's in your face, it doesn't matter. Like, unless you can burn him down and punish him for being there, he's just going to hit you with all of his crap. And then your team's gonna show up. Jade in a little bit of a strange position, but ends up pulling an ult. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the HGC spray. HGC finals, the finals. I don't know what that's from. Joe skirmishing with the Inhibirak in mid lane. Bombs come out, decent amount of damage onto Andrade. 16's picked up by both teams. Vala does end up going for... Wait. Yeah, seething. Wow, I should know that. Why, though? Not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Well, just in time to watch Kel'Thuzad get wrecked in top lane. I think this is a mistake. They need the extra damage to Deathwing, and they don't have it now. That percent damage. So, fort secured in top by PSISTORM. They do need to look to pick up bot lane, at least bot well, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and opt to pick up mid fort and then mid well instead. And they do kind of have time to still kind of just do whatever they want as they rotate into the bot lane. Deathwing has entered the chat, drops in, and Tomb goes out and misses, so they're going to PSISTORM kind of on the back foot. Andrade kind of quite a bit out there, does end up walking away. Silence out onto Cyan. No deaths for either team. And both teams, with their bot intact, will be able to kind of re-engage a couple of times for this. PSISTORM opting to go mid, pick up Soak. Alright. And they have the fort advantage, so I mean these lanes are gonna... That lane will push passively every now and then, so I mean that's not a terrible thing for them. Deathwing is a semi-ish global. I say ish because it's global, it's got like, what, 15 seconds? Like when you press Z, you have... Cannot be casters. I think it's like 12 seconds. You have to wait until you can land. I'm not sure. I don't remember the exact time. Oop, that's not what I want to do. How do I get this off my screen now? I don't know how to do that. Leo goes in, drops the Entomb onto Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza tries to get away, doesn't manage to do so. But all alts do come out by PSISTORM. A lot of damage going out. Nobody really low for Ghosts, except for Cyan. Cyan's kind of isolated at this point. Is he going to be able to walk away? Decent burst heals come out from Snorlax. Still 2 more stacks, and this is, again, the scary part about this. Kel'Thuzad still isn't stacked. Once he stacks, I think PSISTORM's in a really rough spot. Still 1 more, but not if PSISTORM just goes in and wrecks the shit out of Ghosts. They do trade Stukov for Vala, so that is a little bit of an uptrade for GhostsOfYavapai, and then they pick up an Ana to boot, so that is a huge pickup for them. Nice Entomb by Leah. Leah not able quite to get a reset. Had she picked up 3 kills there, or well, so I take back what I said earlier. Had that been, had she had Calamity there, that potentially could have been 3 kills, but hindsight. So 1 for 3. Secures the objective. Ming can poke quite a bit onto this, and Jade looking to eat as much as possible. Go ahead and wrap. If they can get a stun, multi-stun on this would be a huge pickup for them. So Deathwing goes the opposite side of the gate. They do end up securing the kill onto the Li Ming. Our ult has been put out by Mega Milk, and Jade gets in tune, just barrels away. Doesn't matter. Level 20 is picked up by GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. They're going to go ahead and secure this fort. Going to get a reset on Deathwing, and then it's still a decently full health objective. Deathwing flies up in the air. They could push to core with this, but I don't think they're going to. Now they're going to go ahead and back it off, take the quote-unquote safe route. Deathwing is up in the air. He will come down sometime soon, I guess. So mid fort's still alive. Getting this to equalize pressure would be a good pickup. Deathwing floating on down. R can be pressed, but is not, unfortunately. Damage has been done. R is going to be used to disengage. What is that? Is it Calamity? Or Cataclysm? I don't call it Cataclysm. So mid fort picked up. So that equalizes pressure, equalizes for next objective if the game goes that long. Still don't have 20s or PSISTORM. They're struggling to get their last little bit, but they secure it on that fort. And with level 20s, we do see Talrash's Radiating Faith. Love that talent. Rancor. Okay, so Seething Hatred makes a little bit more sense, but still, like, it's greedy. Greed's not done. Like this, I don't see. I don't know. We will have to see. I think this is rough. This is gonna be a rough place to be as Zavala into this team. Following PSISTORM as they rotate around to clear lanes. Check in on. GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT is also clearing lanes. Abilities are being used. Deathwing has an insane amount of health. How much else does he have compared to like Nurak? So Nurak has 47. Jesus. What does Joe have? Joe's got to have more than Deathwing. No. Oh my god. Deathwing has an immense amount of health. So GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT go ahead and opt to get the keep. They're going to secure it with the camp. So 2 keeps down for Ghosts versus 0, and they still have a fort on the side of GhostsOfYavapaiCMYCCaSTT. The PSISTORM definitely on a ticking clock at this point. They have to make something happen. If they don't make an engagement happen soon, they're in a world of hurt. Deathwing has left the chat. Cyan looking, yeah, they're gonna look to force an engagement, but they have to be careful because Deathwing can show up at literally any time. There's an Entomb. Silence. Deathwing gonna pop right into that. Let's see if they can pick up anything off of the Entomb. Doesn't look like it. Jade, however, taking quite a bit of damage. Ends up dropping the turret. That is double dragons out. Ends up securing the volley kill. Cyan also goes down. There's the pull into full combo by Kel'Thuzad. With those 2 pickups, I think with the, well, let's say double dragon, but one of those is about to go away. I think the ability to just push into keep and just secure a kill on the Leo while we're at it, this will definitely be game for Ghosts. That was a pretty one-sided team fight. Deathwing, no! That's unfortunate. I'm assuming this is game. Like, I don't. And Nurak definitely get the core! Stop screwing around. This game needs to end right now. So, game number 3 on Volskaya. Map pick by Yavapai. Ultimately goes to Yavapai. Go ahead and update game number 3. Hop on over to our stat screen. Oh, I didn't hit the transition. Gotta hit the transition. Did we get it? Nope. Screwed up. Alright. So, Deathwing. Like, come on. I hope people start, like, maybe it's a lower div thing. I've been under the impression that Deathwing just is stupid right now. Like, he just does a lot of things. He can clear lanes. You know, he's an offlaner. He's a global. He's an assassin. He's a tank. Like, there's literally nothing that I feel like this hero cannot do. But maybe, you know, maybe at higher levels of play it becomes harder to be that all around hero when you're getting focused down properly, when you know you have percent damage drafted against you. So it's, I don't know. There could be a variety of different reasons why it wouldn't be see higher level play, but we'll see. I'll be interested to see the stats. And see, you know, whether or not is actually an effective hero for competitive play. But I would normally do well, let's see if Andrade's, or see if the captain of GhostsOfYavapai is here for a brief interview, because I need to take my butt to bed. Hang tight here one moment. Let me grab Andrade. I think it's Andrade. Pretty sure he's the captain. See what they say. Alright, let's call him up. Hey! Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Going well. How are you?
I absolutely cannot complain. You guys did fantastic in those games. Good games.
Thanks. Yeah, that was fun. The Ultra game didn't go like we had wanted, but that's okay. Full Sky was pretty solid.
So, talk about that. So that game, even though it wasn't like you guys didn't body them at all, you guys still had a really good showing in that game, and it came down to a late game fight that ended up just securing the win for PSISTORM. So that was still really just anyone's game.
Yeah, that was the Ultra game. We decided we were gonna try to bait the boss at the top lane, and when they came in, I just started jumping on them because as Arthas, I took anti-magic shell, so like I'd be immune to magic damage for a little bit while they tried to blow most of their cooldowns. But for some reason, my team didn't follow up. So I guess it was too narrow a corridor, so we ended up losing. And then yeah, that pushed it to the end. But that was a fun game.
Yeah, I really questioned. So all of your comps were. So when I look at the comps, I looked at your comps versus PSISTORM's comps. Like, they went incredibly standard. Go back to game one. So you guys were a lot more standard game one.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last standard style game, other than the Tracer. And then I even questioned the Tracer, but you know they drew a ban game two, and it just did quite a bit of work. 6 to 5 kills and really low damage. What was the game plan with that comp?
Well, so we had another silly comp in mind. Like we always have silly comps in mind, but they sort of banned it all out.
Okay.
So we had to kind of pivot, and we locked Johanna because she's probably the best first pick on Tomb of the Spider. But after that, yeah, it was just, and then they had a lot of immobile backliners, which is why we went with the Tracer. And I mean, I think the first we got really, really, really good value on that first turn in, and then we were able to stall them and get a second one. And I think it was like the levels were like 10 to 8, and we were like, well, let's just get boss, and it just, I mean, it snowballed from there.
Yeah, you guys got decent value. You got keep wall, and then you were able to just continue pushing advantages that entire game. So
Yeah.
game one, you guys, like I said, you took that handily. Game two was really a toss up. That was probably the, I would say, best game of the evening. But I want to talk about game three. Some things happened, and
Yes.
we got to discuss them. So the first time I've seen Deathwing in a comp game. The first time I've seen Deathwing in a game that I've drafted. So congrats on that. Double Dragon, double support with a Kel'Thuzad. What the hell?
um. So like the double dragon, we just did that because it's a meme. Um. But like Alex, if you play her as not a support, actually has is like sneaky. Her flame buffet, is that what it's called? Her E?
Yeah,
Yeah. That thing, that quest, when you get it, does like that slow is just, it's so oppressive.
yeah.
And
You guys
so
secured
even
a few kills with it.
yeah,
Definitely near
and
the
so
end.
even though Deathwing has crazy long windups, that slow is so oppressive that he doesn't really have trouble getting him off with it. And then Deathwing is a hero kind of like Murky, where people just sort of tunnel vision on him, and they're like, "We gotta kill him, we gotta kill him, we gotta kill him." And so that kind of leaves Kel'Thuzad to just sort of sit in the back and put out damage as freely as he wants.
So they killing Deathwing, just focusing him down, is not actually a bad option. They
Yeah,
just didn't have the ability to do that with their comp
yeah,
and with their talent choices. Like I said, in draft, or not in draft, in comms, or during the game, Vala didn't take percent at 16, and that was a huge. I think that was an absolutely huge mistake for them to not have that additional percent damage to throw
yeah.
out on you. Well, on you as a noob and on the Deathwing. But Kel'Thuzad, you guys were decently winning objectives and team fights, and Kel'Thuzad didn't even get stacked until the third objective. So that's
Yeah, I know.
absolutely insane. I looked at post game stats. Deathwing at 79,000 damage. The next highest was like 55. It's like that hero is absolutely stupid.
Yeah, he's broken, and I think, and as soon as he came out, our Deathwing player Megu Milk was like, guys, like, I
Give it
really
to
really
me.
want to just play him, and he just, I mean, he just sort of, I mean, I think he got him to level 15 within the first like week.
I'm sitting on a
And
level 1. Never played him.
yeah, I haven't even bought him yet, but he was like, yeah, he's so fun, guys. And so we were trying to figure out, okay, well, how can we pick Deathwing, but like in a comp that's kind of silly? And the Shank, the guy that played Alex, was like, double dragons. And so he picked Alex, and we in a hilarious comp was born.
It worked. It was. I I'd love to see if that would continue to function under other circumstances. But real quick, I just want to talk about your standings right now. So this is actually your first win of the season, um,
Yes,
match win. So congrats on that.
thank
Um,
you.
I casted PSISTORM versus We the Papagas. That was their only other game up to this point. So they haven't really been able to show what they can do. I thought they
Hmm.
looked fantastic against We the Papagas, for We the Papagas being a fourth place team. So for you guys to take a 2-1 over PSISTORM, that puts you guys in the running for postseason, because you're sitting at eighth right now. This is going to put you up,
Hmm.
a little bit closer. So you guys continue to play like you have tonight, I see you guys continuing to be a contender for your division's postseason. So, good luck to you on that.
Thanks, man. We certainly hope so. We our first game was against We the Papegas, and I think we had things gone a little differently, I think we could have come out on top there, and if we did, we'd be sitting pretty. But that's all good. We got some climbing to do.
Yeah, like I said, good luck. Is there any shout outs you want to make to anyone before we wrap up here?
Just uh, just the team. Megu for coming up with our silly comps that we always put together. Shank for his late game calls. We usually put him in charge of that. Hybrid and Lilo for putting up with all the flames that we send their way, and overall all four of them for putting up with my feeding.
All right. Well, once again, good games. Good luck to you for the rest of your season. I look forward to seeing what you guys can do as the season wraps up, or as we go into the latter half of the season here.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yep. Hey, have a good night.
All right, later, you too.
All right. Well, that is it for me, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a great evening, much longer than I thought it would be after that first game. Um, just dragging out the fights, dragging out the games. So I had a blast. I do want to thank each and every one of you for joining me. I do apologize to both teams for being late. Thank you for hanging out. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for waiting on me. Uh, but yeah, I don't know what my casts are going to look like in the future. I am picking up a little bit of a part-time work, like I was saying earlier, working security in the evenings. So I'm going to be from 10 to 2:30 in the morning uh, at a nightclub working security. So I will try and get casts in whenever possible, outside of my own games. But if you liked what you saw this evening, feel free to throw me a follow. I am definitely going to be doing more casts, even if it's only once or twice a week. I don't play too much on stream, um, but I would like to try and maybe pick up on that as well. So try and be entertaining. But with that, once again, this has been Nexus Gaming Series Div D West, uh, the Ghosts of Yavapai versus PSISTORM Gaming. Ghosts of Yavapai taking it 2-1. That pretty much wraps it up for me here tonight. So, everyone, thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next time.